Wagwan people. Welcome back to 24 AFRIQ. Karibuni tena sana na sana na sana. Welcome to the house. Welcome to AFRIQ24, your number one YouTube channel. We are live on TikTok, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and also live on Instagram. And if you see me here, jamani, hapa mkiniona mnajua ni Dimba la bara Afrika. Tunarejea tena katika kipindi chetu. And it's been a minute, it's been a while since we last had the show, but tuko hapa, tuko live, and a lot is happening. Boxing is taking over the space of Kenya at the moment. Hapo big pay-per-view hapo, Majembe versus Mbavu Destroyer, which is set to happen on April. And big shout out to Oga Obina, because Obina is trying to pull the strings, trying to help the boys move from receiving a payment of 1,600 to a million bob, and the second contender at 300k, and to bring also some people on board to fight. Maybe they'll get 50-50, which I think is a very good thing for the sport, because for a long while boxing imekuwa imenyamaza in the country, and for boxing to flourish, it needs superstars. Ukiangalia the likes of kina Terence Crawford, the likes of Deontay Wilder, the likes of Floyd Mayweather, the likes of Manny Pacquiao, Tyson Fury, Daniel Dubois. Boxing needs stars, and the stars are the ones who make the sport to be entertaining. So for what Obina is doing, big shout out to him for supporting the boys, and we shall be here to analyze and to try and see whether we can be able to go and speak to these fighters, because wanafanya amazing stuff outside there, and we have to appreciate them. Hapo shout out to Alfayo Siwo. So boxing at the moment is taking over the digital space, and it's flourishing as a sport, which is a good thing. We are sports people, tunapenda sports, so we'd love to see it propelling and improving in the country. But either way, we have to discuss English Premier League football that is happening. Mambo ni mengi. Watu wa Chelsea, sorry to them, being knocked out of the Carabao Cup semi-final. And probably the biggest highlight was Fofana. So the tears of Fofana after the knockout, and many people wame come out clearly to criticize Liam Rosinia's tactics for the game. But for me, what I would say is that in that game, the gameplay for Liam Rosinia wasn't really bad. It was a good one. The approach was a good one. The only problem is it did not work out at the end. That's why people are criticizing it, saying that he went very pragmatic. He could have went all in and attacked, but they don't see that if he chose to play how people expected, maybe he would be vulnerable at the back and would have been beaten maybe 2 or 3 goals. But in the style which he approached the game, it was a good one, because the goal was for him in the first half to be able to try and to minimize, not to minimize, to try and to be a little bit defensive, and to try and maintain the scoreline to be 0-0, to try and ensure Arsenal don't score Chelsea in the first half. And in the second half, Palmer hasn't been fully fit this season. Chelsea players are yet to see the best of Cole Palmer. And Estevao Willian, for a week or so, he had some few family issues that he had to travel to Brazil for. So the guys couldn't play 90 minutes in this game. So the best thing was for the coach to be able to bring them on for the second half, to try and see whether they can get the goals. And once it reached the 60th mark, coach had found the right thing. Brought those guys on to try and see whether they can change the game. Also, another issue nilipata Liam Rosinia, Rhys James, the captain, got passed the late fitness test. He couldn't play. One of Chelsea's second best winger, Pedro Neto, wasn't able to play the game. So in the first half, their best way to try and score Arsenal would be through the long balls, passing one over to Pedro Neto, which would be ideal. And then afterwards, because Pedro Neto is fast, angetumia hiyo the played on the left or the right wing, the guy would be able to flourish with the long balls, and would try to hurt Arsenal from either of both the wings. But sasa Pedro Neto being out, it meant that they couldn't go long. And when you put Liam Delap on the wing, kidogo niseme the guy has ID na si kwa ubaya. Liam Delap on the wing was very very much non-existent, seme inconsequential, because Liam Delap on the wing angeweza kusaidia, because the guy couldn't beat defenders, the guy couldn't cross in the ball ipate Joao Pedro. Those are some of the issues zenye zime affect hapo Chelsea kwa game. So I wouldn't say I would blame Liam Rosinia for losing that game, because in the second half they went all in, tried to attack, tried to score, but the goals just hazikukuja. So if anyone is a Chelsea fan, kubali to your game, ulitolewa, they got outplayed, and it's not a problem if Kai Havertz scored in the last minute, because either way Chelsea was bowing out of the tournament. So the best team won, the best team progressed to the finals, which is Arsenal. But I still believe these guys are not really, if they are to win the league, these guys are not, this is going to be the worst champions, because I don't see these guys really playing good football. Mi naona tu ni kama Arsenal wapata ball, bring it over to the wing, try to see whether Madueke or Saka can bring in a cross, put in a header, and stay compact and protect the goal, wakuwe pragmatic so they can get 3 points. But I believe a good team kama champions, you have to go out all in, you have to play good football, you have to score, you have to win. And in almost ever since I started watching football, unapatanga in every time a team wins the league, they always have a superstar. But ukiangalia Arsenal, their front three, there is no one who can get into the team of the season. So what does that show? That shows that hiyo ni timu ambayo siko ubaya but iko chini. Because even in the season that Leicester won the league, Jamie Vardy was superb, Riyad Mahrez was superb. Those are two players who got to the team of the season. But I don't see anyone in Arsenal who can, the front three, who can get in the team of the season. But without saying much, wacha nikaribishe my good friend Joseph Karaoke. It's been more than a month. Jose, karibu sana kwa Dimba.
Thank you, my brother. Can you hear me?
Very loud and clear. Karibu sana kwa Dimba. It's been a minute, Jose.
Yeah, it has been a minute. Last time I was here, you were not here. We have been having 2 shows. I was here before. Let me send my greetings to you and the great Ritiario. You know, we were with him last time, and I heard he has very good, valid points. So I would like to start, kick it off by the match that happened between Chelsea and Arsenal. As I have found you talking about it. You know, as people are listening here, our listeners are listening here, the one thing, we always have a place, a group where we always have the banter. And I saw Alex talking about Newcastle beating Man City, and I was very shocked by Alex thinking that Newcastle can beat Arsenal. The only team that is formidable that can beat Arsenal in the Carabao is only Man City at the moment, because if you look at their standards, they are par at par. And that one would be a great match. Yeah?
If Carrick was in the final, I would fancy him.
That match could be a very interesting one, but now we are going to look at Man City versus Arsenal because I think that is the match that is going to be. They be having two games. Now I don't know if Man City is going to win all of them or they are going to lose one and win one. So it depends with which one they are going to lose and win, because that is not an easy match. But I want to concur with what you have said. If Arsenal are the ones to lift the title this season, it means that they will leave the title with a team that is not well deserved. That is what I'll say in my opinion. Everybody says his or her opinion counts. Mine is that I've not seen anything of magnificent in Arsenal team this season. I think even last season they were a bit better. You could see them tackling and the goals they were scoring, because even Arsenal last season they only lost almost 3 games to the final of the last matches of the Premier League. But right now you see the Arsenal we are having, they are really struggling even to score. You can see clearly that even that game between them and Chelsea, that game they really struggled. I think all the ball possession was Chelsea most of the time, and they really struggled. Even I think if Arsenal finds a team that is playing, I've even had some pundits saying that if Arsenal finds a team that is playing ground football, it's very hard for them, and it has been shown by Manchester United when they played with Arsenal. Because Arsenal, if you checked, it's like they were trying to use more so the set pieces that they are trying to do. I've seen their team, even the goals that they scored. Just go and look at the goals that they scored against Manchester United. It was set piece goals, all of them. There is not a goal which was clear out there that you can say this goal was magnificent. There is nothing about the goals. Were not even, they were full of drama. Like the last goal, it was full of drama. That Arsenal scored, so that they went 2-2. You could see there was too much pushing and shoving in the box. But I think Manchester, what they did is they learned, and one thing I noticed with Chelsea did, they learned that these people like to do set piece goals. And of late, Arsenal, all the teams are learning about Arsenal. They like to score using the set pieces. And if you target them in the set pieces and you make sure that the ball is not going to be in the box and they are not going to be able to get these set pieces, I think you're going to weaken them. And that is what Chelsea did. Chelsea truly weakened Arsenal. What the problem with Chelsea is, Chelsea has a problem with because it has young players. It really has young players, and some of the players, even they are not, they don't have discipline. I can tell you, the likes of Akina Garnacho is not disciplined enough. That guy, he has truly a problem. He has a big problem. I think even Chelsea might as well get rid of him in the end of the season, because there is no way that you can sit in a press conference and talk about a former team that brought you into the limelight and say that you think that. I think even that one was one of the cause that the coach made him not to pick him in the first team. He was put in as a sub. I've been watching Chelsea game, and I watched the game between Chelsea and West Ham. I watched that game, and
terrible. That was the worst performance.
And Garnacho, he never impressed. I think even the people were angry with him in Stamford, and they were even shouting when he got the ball. I think they were very angry. I could see even some pundits, they were very angry. They were saying, what do we get from Garnacho? I think he should stop bragging and know that football is a game that is played is a professional game. You are supposed to be very professional. But coming back to that game, Chelsea really outsmarted Arsenal. The problem came to, did they finish did they truly finish their attack? Because anytime you could see Chelsea going to the box, you could see they were not able to do the finishing. They had so many chances, but they never cleared the ball. And one thing with Arsenal, you need to take your chances when you have them. If you put them in the, I think that is what only Manchester did. There is no magic that Manchester United did. They got the chances and they laid the game to rest. And one thing I've noticed with also with Manchester United nowadays, I don't know why people are keep on in asking at why is Manchester now the Manchester the DNA is back. There is no DNA which is back. What is back is the coach who has come, the interim, just knows how to put these players into the places that they're supposed to play. Then one thing that has happened is the spirit of winning within the boys. And then another small thing that has happened, when they get their chances, they don't waste their chances. That is what happens. And you can check even with the game we played between Fulham. When they got the chances, they never wasted the chances. So, very few moments you saw they wasted their chances, but most of the time they are putting it, and that is how the game has changed. So I think that is what happened to Chelsea. They never utilized their chances. Arsenal found one chance, but also Chelsea, they had a very hard time because they needed to get one goal and then another goal so that they could be able to take Arsenal. I think the first leg really hurt Chelsea. That is what hurt Chelsea so much. If they could have gone a draw at home, it could have been very easy for them when they went to Emirates. But all in all, we say the team that won is the team that has won, and they are going to the final. We are waiting for them to meet with Man City. It will not be an easy game. It will be a game of, I think now it is even showing that how the league is going to be. But us coming to the league, brother Alex, is another different animal. It's another different ball game. The league is very different, even than the Champions League. I think even the Champions League, unaweza sema, it's easier than the league nowadays this season. So those are the things I've noted.
Okay, asante sana Jose. And there's one question, Jose, that I'm asking myself, and I also do ask Arsenal fans that doesn't go right well with them. Arsenal, I wouldn't say it's the worst side, but if you look at every season, Mabella, ever since you started watching football, anytime a team wins the league, it always has a superstar up front, be it the striker or the winger. Last season, if you look at Liverpool, utapata ni Salah scoring 30 or 28 goals. If you look at the previous season, unapata for Man City, it's Erling Haaland scoring 30 goals. Unapata Kevin De Bruyne, Phil Foden in 2023, and in the year that Liverpool won, Apo, Salah, Mane, those guys were good. Even when Leicester City won in 2016, Mahrez picked the PFL Player of the Year. Jamie Vardy won the Player of the Year. And Chelsea wins it in 2017. Eden Hazard hapo, superstar up front, chipping in goals and assists. If we even, hata tukirudi way back in the days, kina Van Persie, even in the Invincibles, kulikuwa na superstars. I can say Sol Campbell, but up front kwa Invincibles hapo kina Thierry Henry, superstar. Lucas Bergkamp, superstar. But for this season, Mabella, nikiangalia hii Arsenal yenye enda kushinda ligi, they don't really have a superstar forward ule mwenye yani goes on to get the goals. Ukiangalia kama saizi Gyökeres is the top scorer with 5 goals, and I think 6, and I think 2 of them are penalties. So 4 goals ndo zile amefunga. So and that's their top scorer of the team that is position 1 in the league. And so that's why I'm wondering how comes these guys are on top of the league, and in their front three, saizi Mabella, if we were to pick the best front three in the league, I think even in the bench we wouldn't have an Arsenal player because hakuna mtu hapo. You have to put in Semenyo, you have to put in Haaland, you have to put in either somebody like Morgan Rogers ama uweke this guy for Fulham, Callum Wilson, or you pick Mbumo. But for Arsenal, they don't really have a superstar going forward. So will them failing to have a superstar at the forefront, front three, hinder their chances of winning the league? That's my question.
We have been having this conversation with Mzalendo here, and Mzalendo does not listen to what I say. He always argues with me, and when I'm telling him that I'm telling him and speaking facts, he denies it. What you have really said is true. Every season there must be the team that is going to win the Premier League. Even if they are not going to be the top scorer, you are going to find them in the assist. let me ask you, who is the most assists in this season? Who has the most assists in this season?
Bruno Fernandes with 12.
He's a Manchester United player. Who could you be expecting to be having the most assists in this season?
I could be
It
expecting
could be an Arsenal player.
yeah, kama
It was
Saka or
supposed to be an Arsenal
Martinelli or
player.
even Odegaard. Yeah.
Even if they don't have the scoring, the player who is scoring, they are supposed to be having a person who is truly having an assist for them, and is assisting in all these goals, because you need goals so that you can be able to win the league. It's not about possession, it's about goals. Then you have talked about something very important. You have talked about the early leagues that have been won and the way people have been there. But this is the first time I've seen a team that is trying to win the league that their captain is given a sub. Where have you ever seen that? The captain who is supposed to be giving the players motivation in the field. The way you see Bruno Fernandes inside the pitch, he changes the game completely. He changes the game for Manchester completely. Tell me, Odegaard has been put in subs almost how many games? Sometimes even he comes even as a substitute, and he's the captain of the team. So I think we are living in a very difficult time, but also we expect, because this league has been very difficult one. It has been one of the difficultest leagues I've ever seen. Right now we have how many teams? Like 6 teams are trying to push it out and battle it out for the position 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. Because right now Aston Villa has only left the teams that are following them with only 5 points. So it is not an easy league. But if Arsenal is going to, people might think I hate Arsenal. I don't hate Arsenal. I just come here to speak what even some of the Arsenal fans are saying. If Arsenal is waiting that they are going to win this league only on set pieces, I think they are very wrong. If they are not going to, even the game between Leeds, if you watched it, most of the goals they scrambled from the set pieces. Set pieces are good until it does not work. And you have clearly seen, Alex, that the set pieces are good until they don't work. They never worked for them in Manchester United game. They are good until they don't work. Is when you have a problem. And it's good. They are the ones who are on top of the league. But do you know we still have almost 15 games which are remaining to be played? Is it 14 games that are remaining to be played? So there is a lot. There is a long way to go. It's not easy. There is a long way to go, because it means they have not gone. There is some teams that they have not played with them back to back, because if you look at the likes of Akina Man City, they are still there, and Chelsea, they are still there. They have not played a match, because now it means now it will be a game of the mightiest in the game between Arsenal and Chelsea, because that one will be like a revenge match. But one thing I've noticed with Arsenal, if you play with Arsenal with the kind of the football of might, unaona ile mnatumia nguvu, Arsenal you will not be able to defeat Arsenal.
Kama Newcastle na Sunderland.
You will not be able to defeat them. But as we use the brains, and we were able to throw them down, and that is what is football. Alex, if you don't know, people might say, Carrick, people are narrating that guy, but he has been there. He has seen how managers have been managing. You cannot be at when students lakini uone vile mwalimu wako anafunza na uelewi kushikashika mambo. You try to kushikashika mambo kidogo and then you nini. But Arsenal, kudos to them. They are the ones who are leading the league. You cannot take that away from them. They are cruising in 53 points. And the number 4 has been left by 12 points. That is quite remarkable. So we are going to see in the nearby games what is going to happen. But I think every team needs to fight it out. Now the games that are next, I think even Chelsea now, you're out of competitions. You're now remaining two competitions, the UEFA and no, you are in FA, I think. Yeah, you're
UEFA
still in
next year.
the FA, so you be able to battle it out in the FA and the champions and the league. It's quite good. But you have seen vile nilikuwa nakwambia kwamba team ikicheza game moja ni rahisi. I think now you have understood what I always say. The players are not tired a bit, but hiyo game ya Fulham niona kama wachezaji ni kama walikuwa wamechoka sana, unashindwa na wanacheza game moja. How are they playing? No, that game ilikuwa tulishinda, lakini also questions needed to be asked. So I think that game between Arsenal and Chelsea, it was a must. Ile kitu ilikuwa imenikasirisha tu ni hiyo home advantage. That one was the only issue. If Chelsea did not have that one, they could have tried their best, but the best team won. That is what we are going to say.
Yeah, true. And also, we also have to, before to get predictions, we also have to talk about Manchester City versus Newcastle. 5-1 aggregate score. And in the Carabao, Nezosema Jose, we have seen a different Manchester City side than the one which we have seen in the league. In the league, they have one win in the last 5 games. But in the Carabao, they have been flourishing. They even went to St. James's Park and beat Newcastle 2-0. But in the league, while in St. James's Park, they didn't pick 3 points. But in the Carabao, they picked, and even at the Etihad Stadium, they ran through Newcastle, picked 3 points. And what niliona game. So in the first half, I saw a good Manchester City side with the likes of Vuko Mbele, Kina Mamush, Tijani Reinders, Semenyo, Phil Foden. It's like vintage Man City, whereby they're attacking well, they're on the front foot, they score, they're still pampering Newcastle, wanaendelea, and they're doing well. But in the second half, I saw a little bit of the same thing with Tottenham. The first half, you guys are on top, mnacheza poa, create chances, you score. But in the second half, unaona ni kama team niseme aje, it's like the energy levels in a drop because they failed to create the chances. And after failing to create the chances, unapata hizo ndo vitu zenye zina affect Man City, because in the second half, if they went all guns blazing versus Tottenham, wangepick 3 points, but they failed to do so. And in this game ya Newcastle, nasema Newcastle in the second half, they didn't do their best, because even them wamekuwa na issues zao, they haven't been playing well. But either way, City walichukua 3 points, and Haaland hasn't been firing the moment for Manchester City. So I feel that's one of the reasons why they haven't been doing well in the league, because every time Haaland scores, City win. But he hasn't been scoring. So Semenyo amekuja, Semenyo anafanya poa. Semenyo trying to chip in with goals and assists. But either way, venye nimesema, the best team won, and City playing us on the final, it's going to be a good one. And either way hapo, City picked 3 points, and Semenyo anaendelea poa. And I wanted Kelong to be so much in this live, because at the start of the season, Mabella, Kelong said if you remove somebody like Semenyo in Bournemouth, you put him in a team like Manchester City, he won't do well. And me, I posed to that. I said, Semenyo is a superstar. That guy is potentially the best African player this season. But Kelong ali disagree. Alisema if you put him in a bigger team, he won't do well. But either way, time will tell. So Nulukuza Mabella, why do you believe City is a better fit to face Arsenal rather than Newcastle?
Thank you for that question. There is a guy called nilikuwa nimeona comment yake anaitwa kwa amesema kuhusu Arsenal. I wanted him to come here so that he can explain to us. He's saying that we are bitter souls. But if you feel you are aggrieved a bit, I like somebody to come here and try to also validate his points. For Man City, Newcastle has been having problems. If you look at the games that Newcastle have been playing for the last games, Newcastle has been beaten, the games that they have been playing. The last, I think, 2 games, and now that one for Man City. They have been on a spree which is an unwinless spree. So I did not expect much from them. Even when I saw you debating in the group, I knew that Man City is going to win that game because but Newcastle has truly some issues right now. I don't know what is clearly their issues. I've not understood well. I don't know if it's because of signings they did not accomplish their they had some of the sorts of strikers who were taken, kama Isaka, who left, and he was a very good player in Newcastle. But Man City also has a very good squad. The problem is, I think Pep has not fully has not fully mastered his substitutes. So that's why you see a Man City which is very strong in the first half, but when it goes to the second half, you see a Man City which is wary, and you could see it in Tottenham game. I saw that game the first half, and they were very brilliant. But the second half, they looked like they were confused. They did not know what they were doing in the pitch. And I think also having too much big players also, it becomes at a cost, and you are unable to be able to balance. Pep is the kind of coach who are able to master the game. So I don't know what is really happening to him. And he has all the players that he need. Even he got the likes of Akina Semenyo. I hear you saying Kelong. Just sometimes Kelong might not know what he's saying. Akisema ati, you look at the player himself. That guy called Semenyo has been tremendously hardworking guy, and in a team that you need to fight for, so that you can be able to get a chance or be able to score goals. I think it is very fit for Semenyo, because even Semenyo could have fit very well into a Manchester United team, because he's a hardworking and fighter, and he's able to recover the balls. Yeah, he's able to recover the balls. He's able to forge out. One thing I've learned with the likes of Akina Mbeumo and Akina Cunha is the same thing I've learned with Semenyo. They are fighters. If you see Cunha when he's in the game, and even if he's coming from a sub or he's in the game full time, you see that he tries to fight on. And that is what is happening to Semenyo. Semenyo could have not become a flop, but the likes of Akina Isak, mostly, I knew the system in Liverpool, I knew it is not going to favor them. And I think even the guy who came here, I think it was called Martin, will differ with me, but the likes of Akina Gyökeres, I already knew. I was sure for certain that. And I came here and I told you.
Hiyo tutatoa at the end of the season, hizo clip hiyo ya Gyökeres. At the end of
that guy I knew he was not going to. No, that guy I knew he was not going to be able. Gyökeres was a very good player in the system that he was, but in this system it is not favoring him, because Arsenal kind of system, Arsenal kind of football play has really changed. It's not the same football play we were seeing before. Ile wanacheza na wings. Right now Arsenal, sijui sita kuficha mi zile ball zote nimeona za Arsenal, you find them, they are not playing. The likes of Akina Saka even is now not there. Saka, I don't know what has happened to him. And Saka is the player who always controls the wings. Right now he was, I think in that game kwanza ile ya Man U, he was covered completely. Huku unaona Saka was covered completely. So
Jose, unajua 2025 alimaliza na bao 4 pekee. 2025 year, calendar year yote alimaliza na bao 4.
Yeah, I think he has a problem. That's the same problem that started with the likes of Akina Rashford. You remember? Rashford started with that issue. I don't know if it is injury, which is, I think he's been rushed out of injuries. And it's not that we hate Arsenal. Unajua mtu anakuja anasema we don't hate, we just spell some truth. Even me, I can tell you some of the players like Akina Dalot. I am very optimistic about their football, kind of football play. Hainifurahishangi sana. So when we come here, we just speak facts, and even the likes of Dilap, they are not performing very well in Chelsea.
True.
We come here to talk about football as a whole. So Man City really got a team that is not even in good form, and is a must they could have beaten Newcastle. Hiyo ni kitu nilikuwa najua hata ndani. Even the 4 goals were, I think Newcastle could have been beaten more, because I think they are having issues at the club as of now. I don't know what's the issue officially. Maybe I don't know if it is players they don't have, or what is happening with them. But for Man City, now they progress. We wait and see now the final. We see the final now, because that one will be a very hard game. Itakuwa rahisi vile. We are going to see the final.
Okay, I think I have here.
Yeah, Michael Nyabuto has told you that we are saying Arsenal this, Arsenal that, bitter people. You are being criticized in Arsenal season, but you are still top of the league. Hata mkuwe an objective. Arsenal. You know, the problem with Martin is one thing. Last year also Arsenal was on top of the league, and during the last games, the last, I think, couple of games, 5 games, is where they lost their trophy. We are not talking about Arsenal not winning the trophy. The one thing you need to understand is we are talking about Arsenal winning a trophy this season, but we are talking under which circumstances. That is what we are talking about. You might come here rubbish it off, but people know, everybody knows that Arsenal. Why do you hear people calling them set piece FC? Why do you hear them calling them that? Because of the kind of way they are scoring their goals. And it's okay even if they win the league, we don't have an issue with that. But we are trying to tell you the facts that have been there since long time, Alex. In the league, kuna league imeshindwa hapo nyuma ambayo players hawaja kuwa in the top form of, hata kwa group unapata ati hao wanaambia ndio wako top, they are the ones who are in top there. Kama for example last season when Liverpool won, you could hear the likes of Akina Van Dijk, they were being mentioned as good defenders. And you could also hear the season before Man City, you could hear the likes of Akina Haaland being mentioned and Akina Phil Foden. The year before that, you could hear naming of people. Even if you go back, hata enda kwa Arsenal ile wakati ilishinda, the time they won the league, you could hear the likes of Akina Thierry Henry, Akina Vieira. You could hear them because they were there and they were even scoring, and you could see them in the sheets, and you could see them also in the lineups of teams that have been performing that season. But now, tell me any player in Arsenal who is going to enter the the best team of the season. Which one? Niambie. Let's be honest here. You know we are talking honest here. Ni nani ataingia kwa hiyo best team of the season? Who? That is maybe defender, maybe the defender like Saliba. Gabriel, maybe defender kama Saliba.
And Raya clean sheets.
So now maybe goalkeeper and defender. But if they only the goalkeeper and the defender are entering in that team, just know you have an issue. You have a problem. If you don't have your midfield is not being charged na striking force, then you cannot be that you last season you told us that you did not have a striker and that's why you are going for a striker. But this season you are not using the same striker. Don't you see you have an issue? You have a problem. So those are the issues we are talking about. We are not talking that we hate Arsenal. We are just me, I support my team. I support my team, but everybody supports a team. But we come here generally to talk about the game.
Anyway, I have here my predictions hapa Matchweek 25 predictions, and tunafungua hapo Friday. We have Leeds United versus Nottingham Forest, and this is also going to be a great one. And Leeds, if you have watched them this season, Jose wamefanya poa hapo kwa ligi. Calvert-Lewin, I think it's a redemption season for him, and I think also Leeds wameperform poa, and I think they do deserve a chance of remaining in the league after a good performance from them. So Chapa Chelsea 3-1 at Elland Road, and also Aronson has been doing well, and I'd also like to also give flowers to Sean Dyche Kenya amefanya at Nottingham Forest, because they brought in Big Ganj Postecoglou, who wasn't able to stabilize the team, because at the start of the season they were donating points to teams left, right, and center, but Sean Dyche naweza sema amestabilize the team, and he sets the back line very very well, in a way in which wanakuwa pragmatic, becomes difficult to score, and when they go forward they are capable of punishing teams because they have good quality going forward. They have Morgan Gibbs White, they have Kalamatson Odoi, they have Igor Jesus, they have Omari Hutchinson, and those are good players who can punish you going forward. So Leeds versus Leeds versus uh, Nottingham Forest is going to be a good one. It's going to be a difficult one because both teams have to fight for the points to remain in the league. And I think for me, hapa Mabela ni it's a difficult one to predict. I'll go for a 2-2 draw. Wewe unaonaje hiyo game?
That one is a very difficult game. It is going to depend with the form of the teams that are meeting. If Leeds are in good form, but it's a very difficult one because even Nottingham, they have not been in a very bad form. They have been in a very good form. So I'm going to take the Leeds win 2-1.
Leeds 2-1 at home, hapo Elland Road. And also Saturday we have hapo early kickoff hapo Manchester United versus Tottenham. The first leg was also ilikuwa early kickoff, and the second one is early kickoff. The first game hapo ilikuwa ni 2-2 draw, and this second leg I think also this game is going to be a difficult one because United are on form, wako na manager bounce, and at the moment they are playing well, they are capitalizing on chances, they are scoring, they are winning games under Carrick. Saizi ni zile the glory days are back. Fernandez hapo superstar captain, chipping in with the assists left, right, and center. There are questions online zenye zinarushwa hapa na pale questioning whether is he world class or not, but we leave it to the comment section watuambie whether is world class or not, but for this game itakuwa poa. The thing that I like about United the attacking, I feel like the attacking is very very much lethal, what we haven't seen and Ruben Amorim. Ukipata Mbumo amekuja to form, any chance he gets he scores. Fernandez chips in his assists left, right, na center. Casemiro hapo na Maino solid hapo at the back, and De Ligt is yet to be back, but as for now hiyo partnership yapo ya Maguire na the Butcher Martinez iko intact. Patrick Dogo is going to be a very very big miss for them because I feel like he was coming into form, and if you are to ask me, is the January player of the month for January, I feel like amefanya poa, so it's sad to see him going out injury at 10 weeks. And on the side for Spurs, I think in the second half against City, I saw the best performance from them this season because they came alive. They hawakukufa moyo. They created chances, walikuwa na attack, and I saw one of the best performances from Dominic Solanke na Tottenham shirt because the guy was a very very big threat to Manchester City, and also the Scorpion kick alifunga, it was a very very good one. So also this game also itakuwa difficult one because United has to keep on winning to put pressure on the top four chances, and also Spurs has to win because they want to get out of the relegation battle. So this one is going to be a very very good, and it's going to be a difficult one. Inachezewa Old Trafford, so I think I'll fancy United for a narrow 2-1 win. Unaonaje hiyo game Jose?
Before I say the prediction of that game, I think we are going to leave the pundits to that discussion of is either Bruno Fernandes a world class player or not, because I think the stats don't lie. If you need to know, you can just go to the stats and just know if he's a world class player or he's not. But coming back to the game, I think Amorim, what was the issue with Amorim is the formation that he was playing in Manchester was not fitting for these players, because we were playing a 3-4-3 kind of setup. But do you know it was not a 3-4-3 kind of setup all the time? There's a time you could find it going back to 5-3-2, which means it is a defensive setup. So right now, what has really happened is it has reverted back to the 4-3-3, which is always a diamond kind of shape, which is 4-2-1, 4-2-1. No, 4-2-1-2. I think. Yeah, 2-1. Yeah, supposed to be 4-2-1, 4-2-1-2. Yeah. Yeah, that 4-2-1-2-1. Ni ngapi diamond shape pale katikati. I think people understand. So I think that is what has really happened, and Bruno Fernandes has gone back to his position, and that's why you have seen even his scoring and his assists have been so much influential, because when you are taken back to the place where you're supposed to be the ball maker or the player maker, you try to get the assists so that you can assist your team in winning the balls. Then I think for the through attack, I think is because we have Mbuemo is very, I don't know, I say he's a very hardworking guy. He's going to fight for the balls. He's going to be running across. He's going to be tackling. I don't know who is going to start clearly, but this is a game that I would fancy Sesko to start. But I don't know how they are going to rearrange it. I think by the way, now, do you know that this is the only moment that you have seen an 11 team in Manchester? This is the only time we have known the 11th team. We can be able to know which players are playing where, because if you look at the stats, you have been seeing is the likes of Luke Shaw in the left. Then you like the likes of Akina the Butcher. Then you have Maguire, and then you have Dalot. Then in the middle there you have Casemiro and Mainu. Then you have Bruno Fernandes there attacking. Then you have either it was Dogu, but now Dogu is injured, so you have either Cunha and Ahmad, and then in front you have Buemo, or is either the other way around. You have you be playing Mount, and then you are playing it's called who? You are playing Mainu, and then you are playing Cunha there in front of Buemo. Or it is in the other way, you can be playing Cunha, Ahmad, and then Sesko in front. So I think this is the only time we have been knowing the striking force there is the one which is changing so much, but in the midfield you clearly know what you're going to come for. I think Man United now, the players are in high spirits. That is what they are in. But it is going to be a very difficult one, because also Tottenham is fighting a relegation battle, and Manchester United is trying to fight a battle for the top four, and it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Last time, we went 2-2 draw. This time round, maybe because of the 12th man, I might give a Manchester win 2-1.
Yeah, I also went for a 2-1 narrow win. But it's going to be a good one, because also Spurs, they have to fight for a talking relegation battle. But either way, also Apple, still on Saturday we have Apple Bournemouth at home playing Aston Villa. And I think for a while Bournemouth played for like, I think 6 or 7 or 8 games without a win. but tumeona from the past three games wameanza kupick wins. Last week they won against Wolverhampton Wanderers. This week they are playing up at home at the Vitality Stadium against Aston Villa, and I think Aston Villa wamekuwa flash because at the start of the season they are not doing well, and but as the season progressed, they started picking points. They fought their way up to the top four. There's a time we even were saying hapa wako kwa title race because they got some big wins against Chelsea in December, against United, and they also still beat Arsenal in that December. So in my head I was like, these guys have to be in the title race. But after Unai Emery came out and cleared and he said they are not in a title race, they went on lost to Arsenal, and from there on, I think Aston Villa wame drop in form because you do know Jose, there are many times this season zenye if they beat Everton, imagine wangekuwa wamepunguza their points with Arsenal to just 3 points, but they lost. So kumekuwa na some moments that Aston Villa would have gone on to cut the deficit of the wapunguze points hapo na Arsenal to maybe 3 points or 2 points, but they failed to do so because I find City is dropping, they also drop. So but this week they are going away to Bournemouth. Hii hapa mi naona tu ni draw because I still don't see Aston Villa picking 3 points away at Bournemouth. But I think they can pick a draw.
Yeah, that one is a game that is also going to be a difficult one. I think these games for this weekend, they are very difficult games. And Aston Villa, they have been having a very good run, but now I think of late, I don't know what has really happened to them. And Unai Emery also, is a coach who always does wonders. But I don't know what is really happening. This league, I told you, is not an easy one. It's a very difficult one. And for Bournemouth, I see also a Bournemouth that also has felt short of Semenyo. Semenyo was really helping them. So I think just Bournemouth is trying to recover from the sale of Semenyo. And then, but the likes of Aston Villa, I don't know. I clearly don't know. I think maybe it is. They are playing games. They are playing how many games? 2 games. But they have been playing 2 games because they have been playing the Europa. But we are going to see this weekend. It's not an easy match. That one, I'm going to go with a draw of 1-1.
Okay, Santa Sana. And we also have for Burnley at home playing against West Ham. And Burnley have dropped quite a significant amount of points. And I think at this moment, we are close to saying those guys are fully relegated from the league. But I still believe they have some good players who can remain in the league when other teams can sign people like Josh Cullen. I think Cullen can remain in the league. Also think somebody like Anthony. Anthony is somebody who can be signed. And but for Burnley, I think they have to go to the championship and to strategize. And against West Ham, I'll go for a West Ham win. I think West Ham will get an away win because at the moment Nuno Espirito Santo is trying to pick points to try and see whether he can bypass Nottingham Forest so that he can remain in the league. So with that said, Crescencio Somerville, a good player for West Ham, firing the goals hapa na pale. And also they have a midfielder called Mateus Fernandez, who is a very, very good player, has a good long range shot. And up at the middle of the park, Mateus Fernandez is a good player. And I believe if he's given a chance in a bigger club, he can perform. It's sad to see Lucas Paqueta moving from the Premier League back to the Brazilian league playing for Flamengo because this is a guy who is a talent. And 2 years ago, Man City walikuwa wanataka kumnunua for almost 80 million. So I still wonder why a good player is going back to play in their home league in Brazil. But Callum Wilson for West Ham, good player. Gerard Bowen, good player. So for me nasema West Ham watachapa mtu away win 2-1. Unaonaje hiyo game Jose?
Yeah, West Ham game is West Ham have been in good form. I saw the game between them and Chelsea, and I think the likes of Akina Wan-Bissaka, they were overdoing it, and they really gave the defense for Chelsea a hard time. So Burnley is clearly going for relegation. That one is seen. And I think also the teams that are coming in, City, Martin Raisi, I can see that one of your teams, one of your legends as a coach is coming back to the Premier League with the team Coventry City, who is Lampard. So I think he's going to be bringing back a team to the even it's very shocking that Coventry City is coming to the sijaisikia Coventry ikiingia kwa ligi maybe long time ago, but si sahi. So I think for Burnley versus West Ham is a gone match. That one I can tell you. Maybe they get a consolation goal, but West Ham is going to get the 3 points. 2-1 for West Ham.
2-1 for West Ham. And also pia tuko na Fulham wako at home playing against Everton. That one also going to be a good one because kama kawaida, if you're playing against Fulham, that's going to be a very very difficult match. And I also think this season also Everton wamejaribu sana because I expected them to be in a relegation battle, but wamefanya poa. They have a striker who is finding his form kidogo kidogo, trying to do well. Huyo anaitwa Tieno Barry. And I feel like West Ham are finding ways to, no West Ham, Everton, they're finding ways to pick up points hapa na pale. At home playing against Fulham, I'd also want to say there's a player mwenye anachezea poa sana Fulham by the name Harry Wilson. Apart from Haaland and Igor Thiago is the third player with the most goal involvements in the league this season. And Fulham at home, let me give them the benefit of doubt for the 12th man, na niseme Fulham itapata ushindi 2-1.
Yeah, for me, Fulham versus Everton, I think Fulham is going to get a 2-0 win against Everton because they have very good players. I saw them, the likes of Akina Chikweze, the likes of Akina Iwobi. They are still there. You can see the likes of they have very good players, and they also have speed. They have speed, and but the problem is with West Ham is with Fulham is sometimes they even sit down and defend before they attack. I've seen their games most couple of times. Hawataki kutoka kabisa waende wa attack kabisa fully. But when they are cornered is when you see them coming out and they start attacking. I think in that game they need to start full attack mode when they start the game with Everton, because Everton is not an easy team. But because of the 12-man advantage, I'm going to give a 2-0. Nimepatiana ma difficulty mingi sana, nimepatiana ma 2-1 mingi sana, wacha nipatiane ka 2-0 hapo.
Okay, and we also have Wolverhampton Wanderers against Chelsea, and it's sad to say this, but this is the season yenye Wolves inakuwa relegated, despite them trying to put in a fight and pick some points hapa na pale in the last few 3 or 4 games, but this is the season that Wolves is getting relegated. And but I think they have some good players wenye wanaweza baki, and one of them amenunuliwa Crystal Palace, Jürgen Strand Larsen, and they also have a winger mwenye anaitwa Matthias Mane. I feel like Mane can play in a Premier League side if, let's say, Forest remains. They can go on ahead and sign somebody like Matthias Mane who can do a job for them. But otherwise, this season, I think Fulham, they are not up to the standard of playing in the Premier League. And them being relegated, niseme ni kitu, it's been a while coming, and this is actually the season whereby they have to go back to the championship. At home playing against Chelsea, I'm going for a 3-1 Chelsea win. away. Unaonaje hiyo game Joseph? Wolves versus Chelsea.
I see uko na so much inaitagwaje confidence kwa hii game, but do you know these are the games that are very difficult ones? These games that you are playing, these teams that they got nothing to lose, these are always the very difficult games, and you find that these teams, they really show up for these games. They really show up, these ball teams who have nothing to lose. Hata hiyo ya Burnley, they have nothing to lose. When they are showing up. So Chelsea has everything to lose because they need to battle it out for the top 4. If they are left with even 3 points or 4 points, it is a very hard margin to come back. Inakuwa ni ngumu sana. So who has something to gain? It is Chelsea. And where are they playing? They are playing in the home turf of Wolves. So this is a game which is not going to be very easy, as I've heard you saying 3-1. I think it's a game which is going to be a game with a lot of spirits from Chelsea trying to get the top 4, and then them trying to just show that they are still there. You know, the players, when players know they are being relegated, what they do, they play the game to the utmost so that they can be able to be signed in by these teams. They don't want to go back to championships with the team. They want to be signed in. So I'll give it a 2-1 for Chelsea, but this is not a very easy game. It is a very difficult one, I'm telling you. It will be a very difficult game.
Okay, and we also have Newcastle playing at home, St. James's Park versus Brentford. And also, we have to give flowers to Brentford this season because they have a new manager. He is managing for the very, very first time, Keith Andrews. And I think he has done a good job for Brentford. They're even doing better than Spurs. And mind you, this is how Jose, at the beginning of the season, Brentford lost some of their big stars. Names like Johan Wissa, right now playing for Newcastle, going to face his former side. And also they lost Brian Mbeumo to Manchester United. But those two players going, I feel like imekuwa a blessing in disguise because them going meaning imepatia a chance for Igor Thiago and Kevin Schade to play. And at the moment, I'd say that's the best partnership in the league. Igor Thiago na Kevin Schade, and they are scoring goals for fun. And Nasema Brentford are doing well. They are in the top 8. So this weekend they're going away to St. James's Park, and this season St. James's Park is not really a fortress as it has been years back. So I believe Brentford can go there and pick a 2-1 win. Unaonaje hiyo game Jose?
Hiyo game it smells draw all over. Inanuka to draw all over, and I see a draw of 1-1 in that game because those two teams, even if Newcastle iko chini, si ati iko chini hivyo, it's still a team to reckon with. Bado wanacheza futa, and also Brentford will come with the likes of Akina Hugo, and it will not going to be an easy match. It is going to be a very difficult one. I see a draw. That game is smelling all over like a draw.
Okay, and tukifunga hapo the predictions, we also have Brighton at home playing against Crystal Palace, and I'm going for a Brighton win. Brighton win 2-0 Brighton. Unaonaje hiyo game Jose? Do you still reckon Welbeck to score?
Crystal Palace versus Brighton. We say Brighton versus Crystal Palace. I see Crystal Palace win. That one will be a Crystal Palace. Si rahisi pia. These games za weekend zote zitakuwa ngumu. Zitakuwa rahisi hivyo. So I see a win for Brighton, which is a 2-1 win, and I see like and he's going to score. Welbeck will score.
Okay, asante sana Jose. Thank you for joining me
You have
tonight
not said
hapa.
about Arsenal versus Sunderland.
Oh, asa haiko hapa kwa predictions zangu hapa. Uh,
Hapana.
ni kama hii chata iko. Oh, by the way, I forgot that. Oh, by the way, tuko na Arsenal versus Sunderland and they are at home. Hiyo ni Arsenal win. Arsenal win. 3-1 Arsenal. What are you going, Jose?
Yeah, definitely they are going to win that game, but I would like to know what point is Arsenal iko namba ngapi? Are they fighting for anything?
Yeah, they're in position 1.
They're in position?
Position 1.
No, Sunderland.
Sunderland. Sunderland wako wapi? Wako huko chini chini kidogo. Sunderland position 8
Mm.
with 36
That
points.
game I give it to Arsenal. It's not an easy one also because Sunderland, as we know, is not an easy team also. See, at any team rise, at any walkover. All the teams in this Premier League, they are not easy walkovers. So I see win for Arsenal, 2-1.
Mm.
See a
So and
2-1
also
win.
the reason why I'd go with Arsenal is because they're at home up for Emirates. If it was being played at the Stadium of Light, then I think it would either be a draw or Sunderland, because this season Sunderland at home au kupigwa sio rahisi. They have shown it. The Stadium of Light, Jose picking 3 points. It's not easy. How many teams have gone there and picked 3 points? I think maybe one, or if not one, none. But Sunderland at the Stadium of Light, uko nayo awachapu. I don't know what happens with that place. Teams go there, they're not picking 3 points. So that's the reason why Inter for Arsenal, only because they're at home hapo Emirates, so I'll go for a 3-1 win. I also like striker Sunderland huyo Broby. I think he's very very little and he scores goals.
We predicted Man City. Yeah? We predicted Man City.
City are playing Liverpool. Yeah, I think on Saturday.
Na hiyo sijaiona.
Hii
Na
prediction
hiyo
yangu
game ni kubwa.
ni kama hawajaninini, wameniekea hapa game zingine, game nusu nusu.
Ndio nimeshindwa juu sijaona Man City
But either way,
versus
City
Liverpool.
wanacheza
That is
na
another difficult one bwana. Hiyo game ni ngumu sana. Hiyo game ni ngumu. And I think that game Arsenal is going to be watching that game very keenly, and Chelsea and Man United, because I think they are going to the Man City and Man United and Chelsea will be supporting Man City to beat Liverpool so that they can widen the gap. But Arsenal is going to be hoping that Liverpool is going to beat Man City so that they can be able to extend the lead.
being played inachezwa Anfield on Sunday.
And it's going to be a very difficult one because the 12th man ya Anfield si mchezo, so it's very difficult. So I think that game is a very difficult one. That one is a very difficult one. Hiyo hata tutaipatia nini Alex? Hiyo tutaipatia nini? Unajua hata siko hata ulikuwa umesahau hiyo game. Hiyo game ulikuwa umesahau. Hebu nisaidie kupredict, ulikuwa umesahau hiyo game. Hiyo game ni ngumu sana hiyo.
So for the purposes of Liverpool who are at home, and I think playing Liverpool this moment in time is not really the same as the time that Jose, Chelsea and United and Man City played against them in the first leg. Apple that time, Apple Slot was having his worst run as a Liverpool coach, and as a rival, that was the best time to play them and to pick 3 points. And Chelsea, United, Man City, they did just that. But I think right now at this moment, picking 3 points you can, but it won't be as easy as it was in the first leg. And also Arsenal wameona hivyo because the moment Liverpool walienda Emirates, they picked a draw. So meaning in this second leg hatutapata ile easy Liverpool yenye tulipata in the first leg when they're having their worst run of form. Even saizi Florian Wirtz is scoring goals. there was a time Jalala said he has quality and it will come to show, and I think it may happen. And at the moment, I feel like Liverpool is not really easy. So and with the problems zenye City wamekuwa nazo in the back line, they have to be very very good if they are to win the game. But I don't see City losing this game. So for me naona hii Jose inaweza enda draw. Mi naona 2-2, but tutaona venye itakuwa. So why am I going for a 2-2 draw? Because I feel like Liverpool will concede because wako na issues in the back line, because guys like Konate, Van Dijk at the moment hawafanyi vizuri, na kina Semenyo, kina Ryan Chaki, those guys are superb, but create chances they have to score. And for Man City wako na issues hapo back line because saizi at the moment Stones is out, Diaz is out, Gvardiol is out. So saizi ni Gay na Kusanov, and Kusanov is being exposed one or two times, and also guys like Mateus Nunes kidogo not up to standard, and but I wouldn't want City to play Nico O'Reilly in midfield. Weka Nico O'Reilly hapo left back, and Foden has to perform if City are to win the league. He has to chip in with goals and assists, because at the moment Foden is not doing well. But for me, this game I don't see a win for both teams. Me on a 2 draw, either 1-1 or 2-2.
Well, me, what I'll go with is this is a do or die game for Pep, because if they are beaten this game, it means there's a setback for them to be able to clinch the title. Because now, if Arsenal is going to win that game, it means City are going to have left by 9 points. So I think it is a do or die for them. They need to win, and I think Pep Guardiola is going to go to the Anfield prepared, knowing that this is a do or die game for him, and they are going to do whatever it takes so that they can put this game to rest. And I think I'm going to go with a slim win of 2-1 for Man City.
Slight 2-1 win for City, and I think that brings us to the end of this week's match.
Michael akona shida sana. Michael anasema tukisema Man City itashinda ni kama kumaanisha utaki Arsenal ishinde ligi hata. This is football bwana. Everybody is supporting his own team, but when we come here we just do analysis. So I see he has given his point. Arsenal will win the league and Liverpool will win. That is a point also. I have given mine. I see City winning. So may the best team win on is it Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday 7:30. For me, on a draw, because I feel like City kusema ukweli sasa
hiyo game sioni draw nani. Hiyo game sioni draw. Hapo lazima timu zote zitajitolea kufunga.
And also Ekitike is in good form saizi. Ekitike is firing. Kwanza I have an old clip of Kelong saying Ekitike is going
hiyo game hata sana unajua nani wanafungaga nani waga wanafunga Alex, si wale watu una expect wafunge hiyo game, mpaka watu kama akina Haaland they are covered, hata uwezi waona hizo game. Zinakuwaga hizo game kubwa, hizo game za timu kubwa zinakuwaga ziko covered sana, au utapata wale watu wanafunga sio wao una expect wafunge, like hizi games ni ngumu, hizi kubwa usi expect wale una expect ati ni wale wa teams wale wa maplayer wakubwa wakifunga. That's why you saw even in the recent games that are big games, upati them shining like akina Haaland shining. You don't find them shining. You don't find, like, even in the game of Man United versus Man City, you did not find even Nani shining. He scored Haaland. Hata kuonekana, he was even given a substitute. So I expect those players are not going to be seen so much, but I expect those players that are maybe from wing, midfield, and maybe even the defense because of likes of corners and something. So this is a see game rahisi, but I see a City win. I see a City win. Kila mtu ana opinion yake. Mine have put a City win.
Yeah, true. And do you fancy Semenyo to score, Jose? Because amekuwa on form.
Yeah. Now the likes of Akina Semenyo, that's why I was saying the likes of Akina Semenyo, because wingers, they are most destined to score in this. Winners, they are destined to score in these big games, and utakuwa ukiona, si umeona games zote zimekuwa zikiskoriwa in these big games. You find wingers are the ones who are scoring those balls, those games. And I don't know how Liverpool is going to line up. More so if they are going to play Mohamed Salah, because I don't think Salah still has not this season. He has not impressed. It's he has been having issues. I don't know. So, but with the likes of Akina Kitike, we have Gakpo. We have so many players in Liverpool. This is but this is a match that is not going to be for draws. Hii ni match hili inakuwaga na winner. So is either Michael ako right ama niko right. We cannot be all right. Is either one of us is right.
Very true.
Ama is either one the all of three. Alex is right. Ako draw. Yeah. But this game I look it draw.
Yeah, hata watu Arsenal, this is not analysis. They just want Liverpool to win. So it's more subjective rather than being objective.
But you know, these games here ati ni rahisi. These big games. Usi expect ati ukiwa home ati juu at Othman ati utashinda hizi game. Si mambo na Othman, Alex. Ni mambo si hata Arsenal ilipiga Chelsea home Carabao. And then kukageuka ukakuja ukapata team kama unapata team kama Man U. Imagine team kama Manchester United ilipigiwa wapi? Ilipigiwa home.
Yeah.
After imeenda Etihad ikaenda ikapiga Man City. These games are like that. Arsenal beat us at home. When we went, we beat them at Emirates. These games hizi team kubwa si hakunaga ati ile mambo ati umeshindiwa wapi ama unashindiwa wapi ati either kama kuna team nini. Hivyo ndivyo kuko. But one thing I wanted to note about Manchester United is they have been having a very good run in away games than home games. If you have watched the games they are playing away, even most of the wins they are coming from away matches. I think you need to look at that because mi nimeona sana. Even that game of Arsenal sikuwa na uoga sana, but hii game ya Tottenham si rahisi. At home it has been a nightmare. Haijaicha kuwa rahisi. You remember even us playing with Akina Brighton and the likes of Akina Everton. You remember Everton beating us 1-0 at home. At home, our form, I don't know what happens. But when we are away, sometimes you find the form is very good. I don't know, is it? I don't understand still. Lakini hiyo game yote na pia ni ngumu. These all games ni ngumu. Hiyo weekend ni ngumu, hata ni ya kujikuna kichwa. Kujikuna kichwa. Tutaona vile zitakuja. Tumepredict, lakini I know tutagonga mwamba kwa prediction mingi hapo tumepredict.
Yeah, true. I agree with that. And before we wrap up the show, Jose, there is a question that I would want to pose to you and anyone who is watching this live or is watch this recording. So World Cup iko hii mwaka 2026 and Thomas Tuchel has to pick his squad and currently hapo for England, I believe they are spoiled with attackers. They have a lot of choices. But my question is, Harry Kane needs a backup striker in the tournament. So and they are very, very big names. So my question is, who is the best person to be backup for Harry Kane in the 2026 World Cup? Tuko na Oli Watkins, very, very good player for Aston Villa and doing well. Came on against Chelsea, changed the squad, changed the game, sorry, and won the game. Tuko na Danny Welbeck, 35 years old but still good this season. Amekuwa akiperform vizuri beyond his age and anytime he has come on he has done well for Brighton. And also we have Dominic Calvert-Lewin mwenye naweza sema it's a redemption story for him because amekuwa akisumbulika na injuries across the seasons. But this is even Everton sold him. They brought in Tierney Barry because walikuwa wameona ni kama Calvert-Lewin can't perform well for them in the league. But for Leeds, the guy has done well. I think he won Player of the Month in December, and I believe Calvert-Lewin amefanya poa for for Leeds. He has chipped in with goals and assists. And if Leeds were to be relegated, then Premier League sides would come for him. So my question is, amongst those three, Jose, who do you think is the best backup for Harry Kane going to the 2026 World Cup?
That one is a very easy. I don't even need to take my time. It's very easy answer. And my take is Oli Watkins. He has shown that is a player to reckon with. Oh, Welbeck. Well, okay, but Welbeck is good, but is not good. Better is not good compared to Oli Watkins. Oli Watkins is a superb player, and he's also young, and he can be able also to fight for the ball. But one thing I notice, England has been having so many good players, but even this season, I don't see them winning the league, the World Cup. It will be very difficult for them. They have I don't know, but maybe Tuchel can be able to do his magic. But the famousity of England football is what that lets him down. You know, they always look at what the player is and what he can do, and they don't even check for other players in other places. They want to check it only in the English Premier League, and only I think Akina Jude Bellingham and Nania, they're the ones who are called up. But I think Tuchel might change that, and he might call all the players. I think even the likes of Akina Rashford are going to be called back. I think we are going to
Yeah, good
see.
performance from him in Barcelona. He has 10 goals plus assists, and he's not a regular starter because Rafinha anamweka bench. So 10 goals in all competitions for somebody who comes on from the bench, I think it's a good number. Those are good numbers.
But this World Cup, sijui kwa nini I'm favoring the favorites Brazil. I don't know why I'm feeling it's going to go Brazil. I don't know why.
But
I'm
squad poor. They have a good squad.
I'm feeling like sijui, but we are going to see what will happen. But also in Africa, we have very good teams. We have the team in Ghana is a very good team. The team that is playing Ghana is a very good team. Morocco, as usual, they are not bad off. They have a very good team. The likes of Akina Mamouche, the likes of
But
Akina.
I feel like Joseph for Africa, niseme aje, the teams, our biggest teams, tuseme team kama Egypt, Algeria, Tunisia, I feel like those sides are only good here in Africa. Wakitoka nje, they fail to perform because I've watched many World Cups, Jose, and I see Egypt playing, and I don't see really a team that threatens to even reach the round of 16. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Tunisia wanga wana qualify even in this round. They qualified. They had a clean record. Hawajachapwa, hawajadraw hadi. They qualified. They won all of their games. But Tunisia outside Africa, whenever I watch them, I don't really see a side yenye ina threaten to even get to the even round of 16, leave alone even at the quarters or anything, even to leave the group stage. I don't see. And I've watched also Algeria in the AFCON, and Algeria wasn't too convincing for me. So ukiniuliza in my own perspective, mi nitasema I see two teams zenye zinaweza tuwakilisha poa ni Senegal na Morocco. I feel like those two teams, if they have a good run, you see also, I think sometimes also football is also about luck because sometimes unaweza pata umepata some easy route to the final. And a good example is Chelsea in the Club World Cup. They had the easiest route to the final because they didn't need to play any big side to reach the Club World Cup final. And for PSG, they had to play all the big guns. They had to play Bayern, they had to play Real Madrid, and other teams. So I feel like if Morocco and Senegal have an easy route to the final, they can go far. But for these other teams zenye nimeona hizi Egypt, Algeria, Tunisia, for me they are not really a threat kusema ukweli. Maybe it's just me. What do you think, Jose?
Before I answer that one, I see Goodyear is there with us, and ningetaka kumuuliza aweke prediction yake ya Manchester City versus Liverpool because she's ni fan wa Liverpool. I would like to hear
Gypsy, what's
the
up?
prediction.
It's been long time since I've heard from Gypsy. Mara ya mwisho niliacha kama alikuwa amekula pesa ya Liverpool. Gypsy.
Then I've seen Mike ameweka timu yake hapo ni Germany, but anadhania ni Spain. Is very ni sawa. I think also Germany have a team and Spain also has a team. So about these teams you have umetaja, I think even some of them are doing well. The only team that I see has a problem is Tunisia. Tunisia, they always qualify, but they never go anywhere.
Exactly.
They qualify, but they don't go anywhere.
They're not
They
really
never even leave the
any
group stage.
competition. Because hata siku za kina Wabikazri, they have never been a threat.
Yeah, but Algeria always tries. They try a bit. They try in World Cup, but in AFCON they are really trying. Algeria plays in AFCON. What really happens? I think they try, but right now I've seen players have started coming back to play for Africa. And you see, even the son of Zinedine Zidane, he's now playing for Algeria. I think he said he's not going to play for France. Most of these teams, even France, we forgot they have a very good squad. But
even Chucky, hata huyo Man City Ryan Chucky is supposed to be playing here hapa Algeria. Sijui anafanya nini huko France. This guy
nakwambia now what is happening? What is happening?
Anafaa kuja cheza huko Algeria. Even Lamine Yamal is supposed to be playing for Morocco.
There was a time that France won you remember Goody amesema 1-0. That's very good. Hiyo ni prediction yake. I love it. But we fine if we equalize. Liverpool 1, City 0, but we will be fine if we equalize. Anajua pia Goody anajua timu yake iko sawa this season. Amekuwa akiniambia slot out. So I was talking about I was talking about France. The time France won the World Cup, they were cheered so much, those guys. But the time they lost, you were hearing them saying that it is the black players that have lost. And they have made them lose. So I think this kind of treatment is making people want to come back to play for their countries. And they want to go, and some even are coming back to their identities. The likes of Akina Mbuemu, the likes of Akina Ahmad has been playing. The likes of that son of Zinedine. Many of them, even in Kenya, you see the player who came back. There's a player who came back to play for Kenya. I think you see his name later in the squad. So these people are coming back to play for their countries because they are looking for their identities. It's time that people are coming back to their identity. Yeah? And I hope, Africa has exported so much talent outside. So much talent, because even if you hear the likes of Akina Mbappe is a player from where? You hear his root is from where?
Cameroon.
Yeah. And we have the likes of even DRC has very good players. I always hear them. Bakitaja. They have very good players.
I feel also, but now the problem is DRC wana game fiti Jose. Si wako playoffs. Feel DRC wana game vizuri. What I wonder
ile shida tuko nayo. Hiyo shida tuko nayo Alex ni East Africa, tujui mpira bwana. East Africa mambo yetu imekuwa segemnenge bwana. But we always export good talent. But sasa waseusia inoma sana and condolences to, and I want to send condolences to the family of that player of Nishabana ama ni AFC?
It's not AFC.
It's AFC.
It's Kakamega Homeboys.
Sorry, Kakamega Homeboys. And the brother took life of the footballer. So I think these are things that happen. Football in East Africa, I don't know what really happened. But when we are exporting, we export very good players who go and they thrive there. But what you have talked about, teams like Akina Egypt even right now, it is very hard for them even to qualify for the quarterfinals or the even semi-finals. It has been very difficult for them. I don't know what is happening with their team. For Algeria, they are trying. Tunisia has never even crossed. They always qualify, but they don't come out of the top group stages. Morocco is trying. Morocco is they even had a chance to enter the World Cup without even qualifying, and they qualified as the top leading team in that group. I think you said Senegal. Senegal has a very good team, but you forgot Ghana also has a very good team. I've seen the team for Ghana. It's just that they never qualified for the AFCON, but I see they have a
They
very
never
good team.
qualified or they were relegated. So I think Ghana walikuwa na some issues which made them be demoted from the AFCON.
Waligetiwa ama walitolewa?
I think
Sina
they
unajua
qualified.
kama walicheza na game na Nigeria na
If I'm
ikaleta
not
shida
wrong,
sana.
kuna time walikuwa na issues na CHAN. So if I'm not wrong, they were walinyang'anywa chance ya kucheza if I'm not wrong. So I believe hapo ndo DRC ikaingia. If not DRC kuna timu nyingine. But Ghana wamekuwa na issues na CHAN. That one I'm sure.
So also Ghana has a very good squad. Which other team? They are supposed to be 7. So it's Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria, Egypt, Senegal, Ghana, and Ghana, Senegal, Ghana, and Ivory Coast. Also, so Ivory Coast has a good team. Yeah.
DRC wanacheza playoffs.
Also DRC can be. DRC wanacheza playoff na nani?
So I think between umekumbuka the time tulikuwa hapa na show. So I think Jamaica has to play another country, then the winner itakutana na DRC ndio tujue mwenye anaenda AFCON. Also Cape Verde inaenda World Cup. Cape Verde.
But I think this World Cup will not be one of the best ones. Wana maishu mingi sana kwa sababu even the ticket in itself is very expensive. Are crying everywhere. I think the place that the World Cup is going, the games themselves are going to be nice, but it's very expensive. I think where it is going to be in full mode, it is going to be in Mexico and even Canada. You know, Canada wachezagi balls. Those guys they play hockey, ice hockey. But Mexico, I expect it to be on fire. Because even I think the teams that are going to be near Mexico are going to be their games are going to be posted there. The likes of Argentina, Brazil. I think their games mostly will be around Mexico. But we are going to see. I've not seen the schedule. I'm going to check the schedule.
Jose, a question to you, Nikulize. I watched the AFCON. Me, a big fan of African football, and I saw Nigeria. They were playing good football, and I think they have one of the best attacks in the continent because Kina Lukman, Kina Osimhen, those guys are very very lethal going forward. So, but I think if it wasn't for penalties, then they probably would be in the final with Senegal. But my question is, how come those guys performed well in the AFCON and World Cup qualifiers they ghosted because walicheza vibaya sana, even in the game which Cape Verde DRC iliwapiga ndio in the playoffs. DRC was the better team. So what's wrong with Nigeria? Nigeria in the World Cup and they have a very very good squad and they played well in the AFCON.
I think it's just because of penalties, but Nigeria had a very good team to go to qualify for the World Cup. But you know, nowadays I've seen AFCON has now become even a major competition. People are looking at it and in another lens. And you can see I think even Morocco, we need to give them kudos for how they hosted. I'm not talking about the matches because some people might come here to fight me. I'm not talking about the matches and what happens in the matches. I'm talking about the infrastructure. They really gave a very good feel of the AFCON because the stadiums were neatly kept. They had very good modes of transport. Hotels were there. They had.
So that's why we are seeing the fruits of good governance.
And that's why I'm saying I think we have a very long way to go because you know we are hosting the AFCON. We are hosting the AFCON, and do you know the problem we have? We are hosting an AFCON where the three stadiums, major stadiums, are in the capital city. There is no stadium which is outside the capital city. And if you look at these stadiums, they are near to each other. Because if you go from Kasarani, you go to Nyayo, you go to Talanta, they are near to each other. And I think if they are not going to put up that system they are calling the railway system, railway network, it is going to be a nightmare. Because even you have seen the nightmare which always happens in Nyayo Stadium. And I don't know what they have done about Nyayo Stadium. You know, Nyayo Stadium last time, even CAF was saying that they are going to close Nyayo Stadium not to host any game, because even the barricades or the area near it is very difficult to access Nyayo Stadium. Kasarani is well because it is very vast. Unajua Kasarani kuna njia kubwa sana kabla umefika huko kwa stadium. So there is so many even the problem I'm seeing with Talanta Stadium. Talanta is a very good stadium and a very good it's a very good stadium they have built there, but the problem is how are the fans going to access Talanta Stadium? I don't know if you have ever seen Talanta Stadium or you know where it is, because me I know where it is. And where they have built it, it is, you can even clearly see there is no places even you can be able to hold on fans. Ni wapi unaweza shikilia mafans, because it's just mean the stadium is just near the road and the area that is there which is kept hata ya kuhold mafans as they are taking their ticket. We saw we had a problem with ticketing. Unakumbuka Kasarani? People even were breaking the barriers. So one thing I'm not certain about is our preparedness. We might be preparing for the stadiums, but and everything. You know, when I talk some things, some people say that I'm maybe political or something, but me, what I had thought about is Kenya could have first hold for this bid, and then they try to build the infrastructure first. But that is my opinion. Mtu anaweza dhania ni political, but it's not a political one. But me, what I could have thought is Kenya could have hosted this bid alone, and they tried itself to be able to build its stadiums and build, you know, even some of the stadiums that you are seeing in our neighboring countries. Now, if you look at the stadium which is near, sipendi kuongea mambo mingi, but the stadium which is called Mama Suluhu, if you look the vicinity, brother, you even wonder, how does it look? It's a very difficult affair, because we are coming out of an AFCON that was properly done. The AFCON was properly done. Leave the football and the politics side of it in the pitch. The football that was played, the infrastructure that was there was top-notch infrastructure. So we are coming out of a tournament that we have seen very good infrastructure and everything going around, and then we are bringing it back to our countries with the yes, it's going to happen, but some things, you know, we need to talk about them, even if we are going to hide in our prideness. Tunajua tunasemaga we are proudly Kenyan, but some things are very consequential and people need to speak about them. But all in all, we are still hosting it, and it's going to be hosted even if we talk about it here 10 hours, 20 hours. We are still going to host it, and they need to formulate a formula, even if it is the railway network. It needs to be there, because people cannot use road. That one is, you cannot only use road. That one will be a nightmare. That one will be a hectic nightmare. And I'm seeing a place where it is going to be a problem, because you know the roads are always closed. Unakumbuka barabara zinafungago even when there is matches. Now imagine a Gong Road which is closed. Una imagine Gong Road ikiwa imefungwa. Unajua Gong Road iko na 4 lanes, si kama Thika Road. Unajua Thika Road hata ikiwa imefungwa service lane watu walikuwa wanaendelea ku travel. Sasa imagine a Gong Road ikiwa imefungwa, umepatiwa alternative ati mpitie Naivasha Road ama wapi. Sawa, wacha tutaona. But I hope they can do better, because we are living out of a tournament which was very good.
By far, I do agree with that. And before I wrap up the show, Gypsy hapo watafuta Curtis. Curtis was supposed to be here on Wednesday, but akasema Wednesday alikuwa ameshikika kidogo, so she will be back, and she has to speak to you, akwambie vizuri. Tunamtaka akuje hapa aongee live, si asiongee kama amejificha. She love to come and face you live hapa one on one, and so that you can have the conversation with her. Ajavani, she had to go and sort out some few issues za maisha hapa na pale, we can't say hapa kwa mtandao, but after they are sorted out she will be back. Atakuja hapa akuface hapa akuambie venye iko. Kwanza alikoshoa akishinda ligi atafurahia sana, but yote 9-10, we give thanks and glory to God, and thank you kwanza Gypsy hapo kwa kunjoin hapo in the comment section. It's been a minute. Jose, thank you for joining me hapa tonight tukipiga predictions, we talk football. I hoped Kelong would be here, lakini uzuri Sunday atakuwa hapa. I still have to ask him the same question about Semenyo, because I have the video clips na nitazitoa before the season end, and we also have to keep people in check despite us trying to do some analysis. And with that said, asante for anyone who has joined me tonight hapa. Tuna build platform bado, tumebakisha almost, we are close to reaching 2k, we are 1.85, and tunataka tusukume kabisa so that we can reach 2000 as we strategize a way to find ourselves to 10,000, 20 to 100. But yote 9-10 tunasema thanks be to God, and thanks to everyone wenye wako na sisi in this journey, started from zero up to where we are at. Tunapea Mungu all the glory. But anyway, Mabella, tupatie closing remarks tufunge show.
Naona Goody amepeana mambo mingi sana hapa, anasema England was to play in closed doors but President Trump refused that everyone should endure the sun, and sema ingine Trump has blocked Brazil fans from entering. So those are the things I was saying, and I see amecheka juu ya Mama Suluhu Stadium, inaitwa Mama Suluhu Stadium. I wish anaweza enda YouTube aone it's been built, but the surrounding is not very fantastic as we could have seen, we could have waited. I hope they could have built the stadiums kwa hizi cities kama vile tu tumefanya, ndio karibia either hoteli or something. But all in all, it's football. We come here to talk about football, and we might disagree with your opinion, or you might disagree with my opinion, but all in all, it's football. We come here we try our best to give the analysis in a fair line. Automatically we are fans of a team. Kila mtu ana support team yake, so you are still going to be biased to your team. And unajua nilisikia mwingine akisema mnasema wewe ni team yako na hujaienda England. So ni team tumefuata kutoka kitambo, but also mimi niko na team yangu ya mtaani ambayo nimeanza kusupport na inafanya vizuri, inaitwa Murang'a Seals. Sijui kama Alex
they have I think striker wao, I think they have one of the best strikers in the league. I forgot his name, but Murang'a Seals, nimekuwa nikifuatilia, they're doing well this season compared to the previous one. Kuna striker wao nimesahau jina yake, he's tall, akona to dread, I don't know the name. Maybe mtanisaidia comment section.
There is also another player in AFC who is playing very good football, Mzee wa Madoba. I don't know if you know Mzee wa Madoba. I like that guy so much. I always namfuatilia Mzee wa Madoba, Kenyanjui, James Kenyanjui, Mzee wa Madoba. I don't know why he was called Mzee wa Madoba.
Anafanya poa this season.
I don't know why aliitwa Mzee wa Madoba kwa nini. That thing I think ni kupenda, napenda kusikia doba or something, but I really like, I hope he's going to be called for the, I see he's clearly playing that player, he's playing. Sijui, unajua nimesikia ni kama nani atakuwa coach wetu. Sijui kama ni ukweli ama ni fununu ama ni nini. Nasikia kama nani amesema ataenda international duties. Aitagwa nani huyu coach wetu? Huyu South Africa huyu. Benny McCarthy. Yeah. Nasikia ni kama atakuwa coach wetu. Sijajua, tutajua hiyo mambo vizuri. But I hope the team that is looking at the analysis of the players the KPL and all these other leagues wanaangalia wale player wazuri, but Murang'a Seals is playing good football, and I always watch Kenyan football. It is very nice. I hope we could have additional infrastructure. That's why I was saying these things need to be spread out. Si kukaa tu ati pahali unasikia ati Kogalo need to have their stadium, AFC need to have their stadium, Murang'a Seals need to have their stadium. Ati unaweza toka unasikia ati leo match inachezwa home and away, unasikia ati Kogalo inapatana na Murang'a Seals, so wanapatana kule Murang'a, and then unasikia nini inatoka inaenda kwa home ground ya Kogalo. Unasikia, by the way, I always fantasize so much about Shabana. Unajua Shabana ndio unaonaga ikichezea home ground, napata inachezea Kisii home ground, so Sofapaka pia inafaa kuwa na yao.
Travel everywhere. Hata nikirudi I went to the game against Gor Mahia na Shabana, and watu wana travel from Mombasa, Nairobi, everywhere, mpaka unashangaa ndio ujue this is for the love of the sport. People are traveling from all of these areas. Watu ndio wanaacha kazi zao, wanakuja wanaona game na wanarudi, and you know Kisii Machakos ati ni 1 hour. It's a long journey, so watu wanatoa effort, so they have to see good results.
Unachekeshwa hapo na Gudi anakuambia France imepiga Ireland 22-0.
I think
yamaanisha kila player amefunga bao na mpaka masabu
rugby.
Labda ni rugby.
I think ni rugby.
Rugby sisi tunakuwaga wakubwa wao. Sisi tukicheza na hizi team tunawanyoroshaga sana. If it is rugby ya follower of rugby. Rugby sasa huwezi nitoa huko. Rugby, me I always follow rugby. Rugby is my game. I was playing rugby mimi. I loved watching football, but I was playing rugby. And rugby tu ni kama mpira tu, hakuna tofauti. Ni vile tu mpira inarudi nyuma. Unajua football unapiga mbele. Rugby unarudisha nyuma ukiendaga mbele. So but all in all I see Michael amesema ataachana na Shabana. Naona wako na mchezo. Ni ligi ngumu, ligi ya EPL KPL ni ngumu this season. Ukiona Kogalo na nani wameachana na point 1 na wako na game at hand. Wameachana na point 2 I think na game at hand. So si ati ni rahisi hivyo. It's not very easy. So hata kama ni na supporting teams ziko na huko nje, I always watch certain sports. I'm very fascinated with certain sports like rugby. I always watch.
Sasa hizi boxing imeshika huko Kenya. Boxing right now imeshika because
boxing niliondokea Alex. Mimi sitakai kuona mtu akipigwa kichwa. Unajua hii mambo ya kupigwa kichwa.
I'm saying saizi in the country saizi Jose boxing is niseme aje. The boxing spirit in a rise because
but among us is
majembe. So feel like boxing inaamka Kenya.
But among the East African countries, Kenya is always ahead in terms of sport. In terms of every sport, we have been playing even cricket. We have been playing even ice hockey. Wachezaga mpaka ice hockey. Kuna players wameanza kucheza mpaka ice hockey. So I think even I saw they played. There was a game I was seeing they were playing. Kunayo Kenya ilifika finals Kagongo. Ilikuwa ni what was this game? There's a game that had come. Inakaa kama handball lakini si handball. Inakaa kama football lakini si. It was that kind of.
I saw it. I saw that game. Hata mimi I never knew about it. Kwanza sikujua Kenya tunachezanga until I saw it.
Kuna vitu mingi tunacheza mpaka nini tunacheza vitu mob, mpaka volleyball ya madem ndio inafanya ya maboys I think iko down sisi wabado, but basketball men are trying. I think Kenya is well off in terms of sports. The problem we don't have infrastructure. Now look at indoor games. We only have one indoor arena, only one, and that one is Kasarani. We don't have any other indoor arena. And we are supposed to be having how many indoor arenas? We are supposed to be having a couple of indoor arenas where we can be able to host our these matches. So, see, so it's not all about football, and at building the stadium big stadiums. You need to build other infrastructures like swimming and everything. Unajua mpaka tuko na ile ya Tusuo, inaitagwa aje ile ya Tusuo, tunaonaga ule dem anaitagwa Ndolo. Inaitagwa aje ile ya Tusuo, wanakuwa wamejikava. Kama hizi vitu za kutoa asali za nyuki. We have also those games. And rugby is doing us great, and we are forging forward. I think also nini inakuja, it's called what I like also the Olympics. Olympics is very fascinating. I'm going to be among the people watching the Olympics.
So and also I'm happy about the signing yenye Suleiman Manzoor. Most people I think wamejua Manzoor from the CHAN tournament, and after the CHAN tournament he was one of the standout performers for Kenya, and made a move to Nairobi United, and after making the move to Nairobi United this season amekuwa akicheza poa, and I got the move to play the French league. Amejoin team inaitwa Reims, which is a good win. Also one of the players hapa wa Harambee Stars, not really my favorite player but a good player, plays for the league hapo, Collins Ichenje amejoin Charlton Athletic, and Kenyans tumekuwa tukiflada hiyo the social media for Charlton Athletic, advocating for Collins Ichenje to play, which is not really my favorite player, Collins Ichenje, but good player for the national team. Ameingia hapo saizi Jose anacheza championship, so hopefully we might see him in the league next season, but we shall wait and see. But for Manzoor joining Reims, a good win for the guy, and move at a very young age, and not many players in this Kenyan local teams get the chance to play abroad at a very young age, because I think this year Manzoor turn 20, so for him to play in the French league, it's a good chance for him to develop his footballing abilities, and it's a good
for them going to these leagues is a very good plus for them, because they'll be able to earn more than what they earn in Kenya. But I don't see any additional they give us as a country when even they come back to play. I don't see any additional. I don't see. But for them, when they get, it's good for them, because it is football is a job. Najua si kama ile kitambo watu walikuwa wanaambiwa football hiyo ni kinini, hiyo ni career gani, but I don't see any effort they give us when they come back. But I see that Goody amekupatia points mingi sana na sioni ukiziweka. Amekwambia about kuhusu athletics friend inaenda Scotland, and he told you about there was a boxing Kenyan representing England in boxing. In this Six Nation I think is football, nani Alex? These Six Nations. I think ni football.
I haven't heard for you.
Kunayo inasikia ikiitwa Six Nations. And then pia Goody yako na tumambo mpaka ametuandikia hapo Leicester was deducted 6 points. So other things, ni hizo teams ziko championship. Huko ndiko kuna waka moto Alex. Sijui kama unajuaga hiyo ligi ndio inawakaga moto hiyo. Unajua West Brom inarelegatiwa.
West Brom wanaenda League 1.
West Bromwich
Albion.
Inarelegatiwa.
If you think, if anyone thinks that Jose playing these championship teams is easy, wacha uone in the FA Cup venye wanajituma.
Amesema Six Nation ni rugby. Pole.
If you see Jose tournaments like the FA Cup ama Carabao, ndo utajua yenyewe championship sio kurahisi, because the way these teams wanalemeanga the Premier League side, ujue yenyewe
Ebu angalia table ya championship kidogo kabla tumefunga, because we are clocking 2 hours. Ebu angalia hiyo table uniambie vile unaona. Hiyo table hata ukiangalia zile timu mnajuaga zinakujaga juu, hata Watford itakustua. Ebu angalia hiyo table uniambie.
Position 1 na 58 points hiyo ya Lampard.
Yeah, Lampard.
Middlesbrough kona 58 points. Hull City number 3 na 54.
Hull City ni ya company.
Hull City company yako Bayern Munich.
Company coach.
Huyo wa Man City.
Huyo
alikuwa Man City, Company yako Bayern Munich.
Ni yeye coach Bayern Munich.
So Man City number 3 wako na 54, then Ipswich number 4
na pole Hull City nimeremember ilikuwa ni Hull City ndio Liam coach wenyu alitoka.
So Ipswich is 4th na 51, then number 5 ni Millwall na 50. Then so huko chini hizo Wrexham, Derby County 47, 45. Watford wako.
Sema zile teams zilikuwa zimejoin ligi juzi ziko namba ngapi? Kama Watford.
Watford wako number 8 yenye ilirudi last season. Ipswich number 4 na 51. And so zenye zilitoka ni Ipswich, Watford na
Leicester iko namba?
Leicester wako number 17, walinanganywa
na nani wako namba ngapi? West Brom
number 22.
Na
Sheffield wako number 15.
Nakwambia iko
Southampton number 14.
Nakwambia hiyo ligi inaakaga moto. Sasa umesikia vile nakwambia hiyo inakuaga na Sheffield Wednesday.
Sheffield Wednesday wako League 2. Wako hii.
Walitolewa.
So meaning
ni gani ya mwisho huko? Na Reading na iko
Sheffield Wednesday ndio ya mwisho 24. 23 ni Oxford, 22 ni West Brom.
Na Reading
sidhani. Reading wako kweli. Reading.
Kwa hivyo Middlesbrough inarudi.
Reading hawako.
Kwa hivyo Middlesbrough inarudi. Middlesbrough ilikuwa moto, inarudi. Kwa hivyo Middlesbrough, Hull City na
Middlesbrough na Coventry zinarudi. Hizi from number.
Lakini Hull City inakuwa ya kupeana points. Hull City hata kirudi ni inakuwa inapeana points sana.
But this time Jose huwezi jua because hata kitambo tulikuwa tumezoea nini teams kama Norwich na kujanga zina donate points, but kuna times Norwich imekuja ime survive for a while before ashuke. So we
Norwich wako namba ngapi?
Norwich
wako kwa hiyo
wako kweli
walienda
namba 19.
Hata Stoke niliona iko mbaya, hata Stoke niliona iko namba 18 na namba 16 huko namba 17.
Actually kwanza Jose nimepotea sana kwa ligi ni Stoke wako namba 12. Stoke imepotea
hiyo inaakaga moto hiyo
in the league.
And you know how many players wako huko wale wanacheza hizo manini. Hata Derby County naona imejaribu. Derby County iko namba 5 Derby County imejaribu iko namba 5.
So ni championship si rahisi. If you want to know these teams si rahisi, see them playing in the FA Cup uone venye wanalemeanga the Premier League sides, ndo ujue wenyewe playing in the championship it's not easy to raise. Even huku Kenya playing in the NSL is not easy. Ndio mtu afike KPL ujue it's not easy. Huko chini kupanda it's more difficult than anything.
Kuna timu yangu haitaifika, inaitagwa Sam West. Kwa inaitwa Kashui Black Boots kitambo, inaitagwa Sam West.
So I think Jose hiyo inaonyesha championship siku rahisi huko NSL. Because hata kuna timu itonga Migori Youth na nimeona games zao wanacheza poa, wako huko NSL na hawajawahi panda, and it's a very very good side.
Na Mathare ni kwenda inaenda delegation.
Hata Kariobangi Sharks yenye imetoa very very good players huko Kenya. Ni kama Sharks wakishuka because hawajakuwa kiperform vizuri.
Wanaenda sana. Hata Kakamega Homeboys.
So I think hao watashuka because hawajakuwa kiperform poa.
Sawa Alex, thank you for hosting me today for those discussions. But we are hoping for the best. I think the league I don't know when is champions inarudi next week ama itarudi lini. Maida Kaka.
Not next week, but one. But I think saizi ni the playoffs, then after the playoffs ndio sasa tuingie round of 16. Yeah, thank you Gypsy. Curtis atakuwa anarudi very very soon ndio tusikie from the horse's mouth. So thank you hapo Jose, thank you Gypsy, thank you for everyone mwenye anani watch live. Muda umeyoyoma, tukutane on Sunday for much more discussions. I hope for a very very bigger panel because we have to discuss some few issues and we also have to keep people on check. Sawa, asanteni sana.